What is spiritual? Who is spiritual? How do we know if this person over here is spiritual and this person over here is not spiritual? How do you judge that? You see what I'm saying? So, a lot of people think spiritual just means to be tapped in and aware of your spirit, or to pray to God, or whatever people think spiritual means. Okay, and everybody got their own take on it. This is why everyone. So this is why every once in a while you'll see people make videos on what does spiritual mean to them, or what do being spiritual mean to them, and that's okay. That's fine, because we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to look and see what something means to us personally. Okay, that's fine. But in general, just basic fundamental, what does spiritual mean? Okay, so spiritual, like I told you in my other video, spirit means spiral, right? It also means serpent and other things. So the serpent spiral up, okay? Because no one ever really seen the spirit like that, so we can only tell you. We can't tell you what the spirit is. Like, we can't tell you what God is. We can only tell you characteristics of it. And this is how the word spirit was created. It was created based on the characteristic of what we're encountering here. Okay, and the characteristic of what we're encountering here is a spiral of life, right? And everything is, like I said, the universe and everything goes in these spirals, right? So to be spiritual, you also know the word ritual goes in spirals too. Ritual is something that you do time after time, whether it be a practice or just stuff that you do time to time, like going to the club or kicking with your friends or going to football games. You see what I'm saying? So here you got spirit, which is spiral, with the ritual, which is the practices that spiral do. So your life, you wake up every day and you spiral, just like the sunrise and everything spiraling around you, right? Circulating. So you get up and your spirit start looking for things to do. Usually it's something that you did yesterday. You see what I'm saying? And you go into these spirals and you do these rituals. Okay? Now, everybody is a spirit. So whatever somebody do day for day becomes the rituals of that spirit. And then that becomes that person's spirituality, no matter what it is. You see what I'm saying? So the people that say, I am spiritual, and say what spiritual means to me, they're 100% right. But we need to know what spiritual means in its most basic fundamental form. And when you know that, then you can see that everybody is spiritual. Some in the right way, some in the wrong way. Okay? But we're all spirits and creatures of habits that is doing rituals every day. Whatever we do that we're so serious about, that we do religiously, is our spirituality. Okay? So I think what everyone should pull back from this is, whatever you do day for day as a ritual, you need to look at that thing. And you need to ask yourself, are you happy with it? And are you good with this thing that you do all the time, defining your whole life while you're here, having this experience right now? Do you want these kind of things that you're doing, whether it's going to the club or going to NFL football games, buying tickets and shit, right? Do you want this whole thing to define who you are? Because it is. What you do day for day is defining who you are. And if this is what we want to define our life by, we need to change our rituals, because our spirit is our life. So whatever we're doing with our life become our spirituality. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like what you are doing day for day when it comes to defining your whole life, then you need to change your rituals, which will change your spirituality, will change who you are as a God here. So that's why you don't have to be a real spiritual person and still be spiritual, because it's what the word actually means. We took words and made it mean what we wanted to mean to us, and that's okay. We're supposed to do that. But I'm just showing you how the word ritual is played in the word spirit when people use the word spiritual and think that spiritual just means that, I'm a person that's in tune with my spirit, and that's not all spiritual means. Spirituals mean that you're a spirit, and whatever you do with your spirit, time for time, is the rituals of your spirit. You see what I'm saying? So I hope this helped people understand that spiritual don't just mean that, hey, I'm in tune with my spirit, and I'm sensing myself. I'm aware of who I am. Because that is what it means on one end. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to the core of what the word is actually saying, it's pretty simple. You know, like I make these videos. This has became a ritual for me to a degree. And it's spiritual to me. You know what I mean? Because I get to talk to people and I get to tell them my point of view and hopefully add something to what the rest of the universe is putting out there so the world can come up with a solution, conclusions, resolutions. Okay? So this is the problem with what the government is doing. They're inducing rituals to the people. They call them rites. The same rite as a religious ceremonial rite, which is that rite is spelled RITE, and the other rite is spelled RIGHT, right? So when they give you rites, they are giving you rituals. So they say you have to go to work or you have to pay your SMUD bill. These are the rights that you have. So them become the rituals and they become your spirituality. This country says that they give you rights, that they are actually talking about rituals. Those are the rights. They spell it RIGHT, and the religious ceremonial rite is spelled RITE, right? So usually the ceremonial rite goes to a god or something like that that is requesting that these people carry out a certain type of practice form or whatever it may be. So the only thing that can give you rights is either a god or a king or a colonizer or a slave master. Okay? So those are the only things that can give you a right. Because the other thing from right is free will, free choice. See, if someone give you right, that means they took your freedom. They took your free will. You see, the real word for freedom is free will also. So if someone took away your freedom, they took your free will. So when someone give you rights, that's what it means. It means that they took away your freedom. Okay? And just to prove it to you moreover, here go the origin of the word right. With an Old English and Germanic origin, right? And Latin. And now what does it mean in Latin? It says rectus, which means ruled, right? So the word right means ruled, meaning you have been ruled. Like I said, in order for someone to give you rights, they had to take your free will and had ruled over you. You see what I mean? Now they named the rights that they give us in a country, RIGHT, to cover up the actual right, the religious right, RITE. You see? So what they're doing is saying that they are your gods and they are giving you rights to carry out, rituals to carry out. And those rituals will be, to go to work, to make this money and to pay all these bills or all these natural resources that's really yours for free will, for freedom. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I just want to show you guys that, spiritual is also the rituals that the government give you. Because, like I say, this country is a religion. They say that you are free to have whatever religion you want here, and then they stuff their rituals down your throat. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not really free to have any religion here. Say, for instance, if your religion say that are evil and that they are the big problem here that's going against God. What if your religion say that? And then next thing you know, they're saying, well, you still got to do what we say do when those are rituals. So they're telling your spirit that your spirit got to do these things. You see? And those are the rights that they are giving you. Rights mean it goes to something that is subject to either a slave or somebody that is worshiping something as a god. So when the government gave you rights, they are saying that you are worshiping them and they are your god. The government is pushing their rituals on you, therefore forcing you to be part of their religion. You see what I'm saying? And if it's really free of religion here, then I should be able to go by anything that my religion is telling me, right? So if my religion is telling me that, hey, everything should be free because God gave me everything free, and then you sit here trying to charge me for everything, there's a conflict of interest right there. You see what I mean? In this so-called free of religion country here. So you're not free of religion. You can pray to whatever God you want to pray to. But as far as the rituals go, they're forcing you to do their rituals. You see? Now, we all know by now that the Masons is pretty much the Illuminati's. They playing the little branch game, hide and seek, whatever. Bottom line, the Masons is the Illuminati, okay? And yes, there's levels to it. You know what I mean? So everybody that's in it ain't the man. You see what I'm saying? But the bottom line is this. The Masons got what they call Masonic rights, okay? Scottish rights, or whatever they want to call them, right? Well, they spell that right, R-I-T-E, like you spell the religious right. Now, I already showed you guys that there's no difference between R-I-T-E right and R-I-G-H-T-E. R-I-G-H-T right. There's no difference between those rights. The only difference between those rights is that the R-I-G-H-T right, that's a right of a servant. That's a slave right. That's the right of the one that is serving the God, that understand his rights. See, because that's what the Freemasons is saying to you. They're saying that they know their rights as spirits under these heavens. And they know that they're saying that you don't know your rights as a spirit under these heavens. Okay? So what they're saying is that since you don't know your rights as a spirit under these heavens, that they are going to give you a list of rights, which are rituals, in order to serve them as gods. So they're saying that if you don't know your spiritual rights under these heavens, then you're going to serve those that do. You see what I mean? Now, they're making it seem like you chose to do this, okay? You didn't choose to do this. They forced you to do this. They breeded you, in other words. You were born into this. You don't know any better right now. You see what I mean? So, they are saying they know their rights under these heavens as spirits and gods. And they took away your original rights, which was your original rituals as gods, black people. They took away our original rituals, okay? And they gave us rituals. So they swapped out our spirituality. So the original rituals, the original rites, because, we're talking about it in a certain kind of way right now. So I want to show you what the original rites is and the original rituals. Before I think to do anything, whatever I think to do, the life is already set before me. You see? And the life is already a ritual within itself. You have the trees, you have the sun that come up, you got the moon that sets in the heavens at night. These are all the rituals that's happening natural in the universe. Okay? Now we understood that these were the rituals, right? So this is how we ended up creating science too. And science ended up becoming the secondhand ritual after the life. So now we got the life here. And if I want to do something here in the life, like create a car or do whatever it is I want to do, I will have to do chemistry, right? So chemistry and science became rituals, which was the rights that we had as spirits here to know our science and to utilize the science that we have. Okay? So what did they do? They twisted that up, took away your science from you, which was the original rituals, the original rites of the spirit to, perform here his ceremonial acts, whether it's chemistry or whatever it is, right? They took that from you and they told you you can't do this and you can do that. And this is your rights. These are the laws you got to go by. So they utilized science on you and took away your science. So they took away your ritual and gave you a ritual. They took away your scientific ritual, which is the knowledge of self, and gave you their ritual, which is for you to conform and comply with whatever they tell you to do. You see? So they took away your science and gave you a list of what they want you to do as slaves. Okay? So just letting you guys know that the original rituals is the universe and the science. The universe is already doing the rituals, and the science is us following up on the rituals.